Hi, boys and girls. I hope you are enjoying your long weekend, being off till Wednesday. How nice. Today we're going to talk about percent of a number. So find that page in your notes packet. It should be one of the last pages. We only have this video and one more left. So percent of a number. So what we're going to talk about today, let's start with a little word problem, this funny picture I have here. The human body is made up of mostly water. In fact, about 67% of a person's total body weight is water. Again, a total body weight would be 100%. So if Cameron, for example, weighs 90 pounds, how much of his weight is water? Well, we actually have the skills already on how to solve this problem. So recall that percent is part of 100. Since you want to know the part of Cameron's body that is water, we can set up and solve a proportion to find the answer. So if you notice on your notes pages, you have two proportions already, empty proportions already drawn for you. Again, a proportion is two ratios that are equal to each other. So it's kind of like two fraction bars on your paper right now. We're going to add some words into this. So on the first one, we're going to write part in the numerator. Part over whole is going to equal the percent over 100, because remember, percent is always out of 100. So on that first set of lines, you're going to write part over whole equals percent over 100. Now, there's going to be some key words and word problems that help us figure out what the part and what the whole is. This is mainly going to come into play in the last video for the chapter, but we're going to jot them down just for today. So in the ones that say keywords, find that proportion. We're going to write is in the top numerator over of in the bottom denominator equals percent over 100. Don't worry about the keywords so much today. We're going to talk about that more in the next video. So part over whole equals percent over 100. So let me think through this problem. It tells me I have 67% and that I have that Cameron weighing 90 pounds. So if I were to plug numbers into my proportion, you don't have to write this one down, but I know that 67% is always going to go over the 100 because that's what it says in my proportion. Then I have 90 pounds. Well, 90 pounds, is that part of what Cameron weighs, or is that the whole amount that Cameron weighs? That's Cameron's whole weight, so I would put the 90 down there. Now, it's just like a proportion that we were solving the other day. I would multiply the two numbers that are diagonal from each other, and then divide by that last number that's left over. You could do that on a calculator. I don't have one pulled up, so we're not going to worry about solving that. I just wanted to show you basically what we're doing. So today, you have to write the proportion and then solve it. So let's do some examples together now. If I want to find 67% of 90, oh, that's the one actually we were just doing on the last slide. So let's talk this one through again. Again, my proportion says I take the part over the whole, and that equals the percent over 100. Now the word of is always going to be an indicator of what the whole is going to be. So just like we did, now this time please write it down with me. So I know my percent is right here, and what number is in front of the percent sign? 67. So I'm going to write 67 over 100. Let's write that with me. And that's going to equal, now the whole, it says, is 90. So the whole goes in my denominator. So I'm going to put 90 in the denominator and x in the numerator. So again, from here, I'm going to have to go through my cross multiplication. I have a calculator out, so just do the problems with me. So you would do 90 times 67 to solve this proportion. So 90 times 67, that first cross product, equals 6,030. Are you writing this down with me? Please do so. Then remember, you divide by the last number. So I would divide this by 100. So when I use my calculator, or I can think through how I just move the decimal, I get 60.3. So that means if you weigh 90 pounds, 60.3 of that is technically just water weight. Kind of interesting when you think about your weight and how that would compare. All right, let's try a couple more problems now. Now I'm going to find 145% of 210. So what I would like you to do, how we're always going to be starting this, is we are going to start by writing a proportion. So draw a fraction bar, an equal sign. Oh, just like that happened in the class, it happened in the video. But draw a proportion sign by doing two fraction bars and an equal sign in the middle. So my percent always is going to go out of 100. So I'm going to put 145 over 100. The word of is going to apply to the whole, which is going to be 210. So you're going to put 210 in the denominator. I don't know what the part is because I don't have the word is in here at all, so I'm going to put an X there. Again, I would multiply my diagonal across, so I would do 210 times 145. I know you don't have a calculator out, so I'm going to do that for you. So if I do 210 times 145, write down your paper that equals 30,450. Then, to solve my proportion, I divide by my last and final number that I haven't used yet. So I would divide by 100. When I do that, you get 304.5. Let's do one more example together, just to make sure that we're getting this, or you come up with questions to ask me. Remember, our proportion, we're always going to start out, it's percent over 100, and I have my keywords of is over of. So let's write two big fraction lines with an equal sign in the middle to draw our original proportion. I have 8%. Percent always goes over what? 100. So I'm going to put 8 over 100. The word of is by my word 50. So I'm going to put 50 in my denominator of my proportion. This is how you always set it up. You always put the percent over 100 and you put the word by of in the denominator. Now I have one last numerator to solve for. Just like we've been doing, I hope you're thinking this is the same thing over and over again, because it is. I do my cross product. I do 8 times 50, which equals 400. Okay, what do I do next? I divide by my last number that I haven't used yet. So when I do 400 divided by 100, I get an answer of 4. So 8% of 50 would be the number 4. We'll practice this a lot on Wednesday. Again, I hope you're enjoying your very long weekend.